So now that we know about prepositions, the types, where they come in a sentence, um, let's talk about prepositional phrases more in depth. Now we're going to check what prepositional phrases are. You probably have a pretty good idea on this, but it doesn't hurt to expand a little more. We're going to check why or how prepositional phrases work as adjectival prepositional phrases, and how these prepositional phrases can also work as adverbials. So let's check the first part. So what is a prepositional phrase? It's a word, right? It's a phrase that is constructed with at least one preposition and its object. This object, it's a noun, a simple noun like with him, a pronoun, a simple noun like with John, with a pronoun with him, or a noun phrase with the great boy. That will be your object. Some other times the object will have or will include modifiers. You guys remember modifiers from the previous session probably. So just adjectives, nouns, and any other adjuncts. Check these examples. On the ground. On describes the location related to the noun phrase the ground. Of the bedroom. Of is very specific. Whatever is being discussed about this bedroom. Down the dark alley. Down is preposition describe the direction in relation to alley, and here you have a determiner, right? You have the adjective dark modifying alley. Into an empty parking lot. So preposition to describes the direction of movement in relation to the compound noun parking lot. And because of, that will be the preposition here. Because of, it's a compound preposition. The ones we just checked is composed of two words and have different meanings, describing the reason why something happened. In this case, they are describing the reason of the nasty weather. And something to remember, prepositional phrases can be millions, but millions. It all depends on the noun phrase, the noun phrase, the noun, or the pronoun you guys use. Because here you can just change the ground for the game, for the school, for so you can have millions and millions of prepositional phrases. Can you learn them all? No, because it will depend on the context in which you guys are using it, or what you are trying to convey. What is the meaning you want to provide to other person you are talking to, or something you are writing. Very important. They can behave in two ways, right? You have prepositions, and the structure, let's say the superficial structure, it's a prepositional phrase. You have a preposition and you have a noun, noun phrase, or pronoun. But the function could be as an adjective modifying nouns, or as an adverb modifying verbs, adjectives, or adverbs. Let's check each one of these. Now, prepositions as adjective, that sounds kind of crazy, but it's actually not. It's super common. Let's check it. When you have a prepositional phrase modifying any of these noun structures, any of them, a noun, pronoun, gerund, a noun phrase, anything that it's related to nouns, you consider these adjectives. Why? Because remember, adjectives work with nouns. You have the beautiful girl. Beautiful is your adjective, girl is your noun. So this preposition can modify something similar. They always, notice this, they always follow the noun they are modifying. A simple adjective like you have nice girl precedes, right? First you have your adjective, then you have your noun. In the case of these prepositional phrases, these adjectival prepositional phrases, they follow the noun. So they are not here anymore, but they are here. And let me show you some examples. Like any adjectives, oh, important here. We're gonna go to the examples in the next slide. Important, like adjectives, and this is key to remember. If you can take notes, please, or post it anywhere but where you can see this and remember. This kind of prepositional phrases answer one, or they could answer two, or even the three questions we have here about nouns. Which one, what kind, how many, or how much. If you ask these questions and you can answer them with that prepositional phrase, you have an adjectival prepositional phrase. Now let's go to the examples. The cat on the shed, right? So we said that these adjectival prepositional phrases modify nouns and they follow it, right? So your noun is cat, on the shed is your prepositional phrase. So this is modifying cat. And it answers the question, which cat? The one on the shed. You see? Okay, example 2. I would like to buy some flowers in a glass vase. Prepositional phrase in a glass vase is talking about the noun flowers, or in this case it will be the complete phrase, some flowers. Right? And then answers the questions, what kinds of flowers, right? And last example, people from many different countries have visited here. Now, from many different countries, it's working as a whole phrase describing your noun people. What question does it answer? First, it answers what kind, because remember we said it could answer one or more. What kind, right, of people from different countries, right? And it also indirectly answers the questions how many, right? Because you're saying a large number of people, many, right? So that is the easiest way to identify prepositional phrases. If you don't remember the questions, which kind, what kind, how much, or how many, just notice the sentence structure. If you have the noun, take the noun, the cat, some flowers, people, and right immediately after that noun you have the prepositional phrase. This is working as an adjectival or adjective prepositional phrase. What about prepositional phrases as adverbs or adverbial prepositional phrases or adverb prepositional phrases, or some people just call them adverbs regarding, or without actually paying attention to the prepositional phrase structure. They know it's a prepositional phrase, but they don't want to call it that way, so they just say that's an adverb. Simple as that, and that's completely valid. So when this prepositional phrase describes, modifies a verb, adjective, or adverb, you can consider them as an adverb, as an adverbial prepositional phrase. Now notice this, if an adverbial phrase is describing an adjective or an adverb, it will follow that word. However, these phrases don't always immediately follow the verb they are modifying, right? Notice that. With adjectives and adverbs, yes. With verbs, maybe they will be in different positions. Like any other adverbs, these answer the questions when, where, how, why, and to what extent. Let's check some examples. She will leave after a short run. If you check here, this after a short run is describing the verb leave and answering when. She will leave when? After a short run. It has the structure of a prepositional phrase, a preposition, noun phrase, but it's working as an adverb. Same case for the second one. I ran a mile down the road. Is answering the question where I ran a mile where? Where did you run? A mile down the road, right? Good. So in this case, if you check, it's not actually answering a mile, right? It's answering the verb run, right? I run where? Down the road. A mile is just extra information there to know. Now, an adverbial, notice this, adverbial preposition can also be placed at different places in the sentences when you work with verbs, like at the beginning. Check this example. Because of my operation, I had to cancel my flight. So this, because of my operation, is actually opening the sentence and describes the verb cancel. I had to cancel, right? Had to cancel. Or you can just simply move this at the end. I had to cancel my flight because of my operation. And it answers the question, why? That's how you know that you have a prepositional phrase, but functioning or working as an adverb.